With God's help, we're going to learn a Maamer from the Rebbe, and we want to dedicate this learning to the speedy recovery, to the Refuah Shlema of Dovid ben Shoshana, and to anybody who is needing a Refuah Shlema, may they have a Refuah Shlema Bekarov. So this Maamer is Vayikra el Moshe Lamed Beis. With God's help, we're going to learn the Maamer in the original Hebrew and do a basic English translation with minimal commentary. Please leave any comments you have down below. And I'll put a link also to the Lahak website that we're looking at. So this was a Cuntress that was given out based Nisan in Tafshin Nun. So B'siyata Dishmaya Shabbos Parshas Vayikra Gimel Nisan Tafshin Lamed Beis. Vayikra el Moshe v'daber Hashem elav me'al mayed v'gemer Adam ki yakriv mikem. So the pasuk says that he called out to Moshe, and Hashem spoke to him from the tent of meeting. It says, when a man brings a sacrifice from amongst you, we need to understand every speech, every saying, and every command is prefaced by a calling in a way of chiba, of preciousness. Why does it say this calling out in the Parsha of Karbanos specifically? This whole Parsha of Vayikra is called Parshas Karbanos. V'hinei b'pashtu Shlema the mashikasu Vayikra b'Parshas Karbanos hu lefisha techilas hadibra ma'el moed haisa b'Parsha zu. That the simple understanding, you could say that it says Vayikra, that he called out in this Parsha of Karbanos, is because the beginning of the speech from the tent of meeting was in this parsha. This itself needs explaining, that why is the beginning of the speech from the tent of meeting in the parsha of sacrifices? From this it's implied that the main revelation of the Torah, the whole concept of the tent of meeting was the Torah, is mainly in the laws of the Karbanos. You could say that this is why the book of Vayikra, which we call the book of sacrifices, is the most strict of the books. The Maila Satira Shehi Orin Orain Tilatai Hu Bigilo Yosme Din Hakabonis Tatira. That this is also why the third book of the five books of the Torah, that the greatness of this Torah of the Torah is that it's a three-pillar. You have Torah, Nevi'im, and Kesuvim. That's more revealed in the laws of Karbanos of the Torah. V'zeu gam shezeh lechol hadibros the Torah kadma kriya lashon chiba lamidin mimashakasu b'parshas hakarbanos ki gam ma'ila the Torah iker hagilui shela hu b'dinei hakarbanos. That this is also why all the speeches of the Torah are prefaced by a calling out of preciousness, that we learn from what it says in the Parsha of Karbanos, of the sacrifices, because this greatness of the Torah, its main revelation is in the laws of the Karbanos. So to summarize Aleph, we say, why does any time that we say Vayikra is always a wording of preciousness, and why is it specifically connected to sacrifices? What is so special about sacrifices that we call it by Vayikra in a way of preciousness? And what are the sacrifices? What is so special about the sacrifices that they're the main laws of the Torah, the main revelation of the Torah is in the laws of the sacrifices? Seif base. V'yesh levarz al pi mashakazav admar rashab nishmasa eden bal ilula the base Nisan b'Maamer the maskel adam ki yakriv. You could explain this according to what is explained by the Rebbe Rashab, who it was his yahrzeit on base Nisan in his Maamer that starts with the heading of Adam ki yakriv. Seemingly, it should have said kisakriva, that when you bring, if you bring, and it doesn't mention who is the one that's bringing the sacrifice. Umevi ba'Maamer the Isa bizar zachayin inun Yisrael the kuchbrichu karaloin Adam v'chulu Adam ki yakriv mikem. And it brings in the Maamer that it mentions in the Zohar that if the Jews are zoicha, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu calls them by the name Adam ki yakriv, a man who brings from amongst you. My time Adam mishum dechsiv v'atem advekim b'Hashem Elokeichem v'chulu. So what's the reason that the Jews are called Adam, man? It's because of what it says that you are cleaved to Hashem your God. Adam ki yakriv Adam davka ki hakoyach sheish b'Yisrael v'hakriv karbanos u'lefi shehem b'chinas Adam shem dvukim b'HaKadosh Baruch Hu. According to this, we could explain that it says a man who brings a sacrifice, a man, Adam, specifically, because the power that is in the Jews to bring sacrifices is because they are on the level of Adam, that they are cleaved to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Mamshech ba'Maamer shal derech zeh isa b'medrash dezeh sheHaKadosh Baruch Hu tziva es Yisrael lahakriv karbanos hu mipnei shehen dvukim li. Hadahu dechsiv ki kasha yidbaka ezor el masnei ish v'gemer. So it continues in the Maamer, and in the same way it's brought in the Medrash. So the first explanation was the Zohar. The second explanation is the Medrash, that the Medrash says that this that HaKadosh Baruch Hu commands the Jews to bring sacrifices, that's because they are cleaved to me. That as we know that it says, that just like you cleave an ezor, a loincloth, to the loins of man, and so on. Umevar ba'Maamer shebidrush shebemedrash medaber be'inyan hadvukim be'kelim shekelim hem be'bechinas mitzius v'hayichud hadveikus shalahem eino yichud atzmi. Explains in the Maamer, the Rebbe Rashab, that when it mentions in the Medrash about the concept of being cleaving, there's a concept of cleaving to vessels. That the vessels, they are a level of its own, and the unity, the cleaving of them, is not an essential cleaving. Like the example that it brings, that it's cleaving of a loincloth, that the loincloth is a existence of its own, except that it's cleaving to the person. Ubezor medaber be'inyan hadveikus de'oros, shehadveikus v'hayichud de'oros hu yichud atzmi, v'lachen mevi hakasu v'atem hadveikim b'Hashem Elokeichem dveikus mamish. And when it explains it in the Zohar, it's speaking about a cleaving of lights. That the cleaving and the unity of the lights is an essential cleaving, an essential unity. Therefore, it brings in the verse, v'atem hadveikim b'Hashem Elokeichem, you are now cleaved to Hashem your God, that it's a cleaving mamish. So to summarize base, the Rebbe Rashab explains on the Maamer that says Adam ki yakriv, that why are we able to bring karbanos is because the Jews are on a level of Adam. That the proof is Atem advekim b'Hashem Elokeichem, you are cleaved to Hashem your God. That the cleaving is in two ways. One is according to the Zohar that it's a cleaving of lights, and the second is that it's a cleaving of vessels, like it brings in the Medrash. Seif Gimel. V'alpiz ayish Shlema dezeh shehas chalas shvas chalas sefer hakarbanos kasiv Adam ki yakriv dezeh sheYisrael nikraim Adam hu mishum ve'atem adveikim v'gomer shu hadveikus de'oros hu ki hakoyach sheish b'Yisrael lahakriv karbanos hu be'ikr lefi shedveikusam v'HaKadosh Baruch Hu hi bedargas hadveikus de'oros. So according to this, we could say that at the beginning of the Sefer Karbanos, it writes Adam ki yakriv, a man who brings a sacrifice. That the Jews are called Adam, it's because they are cleaved to Hashem. That they are cleaving in a way of lights. So the fact that it says this is the potential that is in the Jews to bring sacrifices is mainly because their cleaving to HaKadosh Baruch Hu is on the level of cleaving of lights. V'zeh she'isa b'medrash shehakreves karbanos kshura im dargas hadveikus the ezor the kelim. But this that it brings in the medrash, that the bringing of the sacrifices is connected with the level of cleaving of an ezor, which is a loincloth, of kalim. There's a cleaving of kalim, vessels. So the fact that the Medrash brings this, you could say, is that the main part of sacrifices is that through them you sustain the world. How do we know this? It says in the Yerushalmi Talmud, on the pasuk that says that he planted the heavens and he founded the earth, this is referring to sacrifices, that through the karbanos you sustain the pillars of Shamayim and Aretz. Ela shehakoyach hazeh sheyesh bekarbanos hu ayadeh shemakriv shehamakriv es hakarbanos hu adam shelamayla me'olam. It's only that the power that the sacrifices have is through the person who brings the sacrifice, that is Adam, that's higher than the world itself. K'de'isa b'zohar, d'mash kasuv, Adam ki yakriv, shebedalot hashemos Adam gever enosh ish, shem Adam moreh al madrigos hachi elyena dichsiv, vayivra elokim es Adam b'tzal moed v'gomer. As it's mentioned in the Zohar, that it says Adam ki yakriv, that a man who brings, that the four levels of the name Adam, Gever, Enosh, Ish, they're all referring to man. The name Adam refers to the highest level of man. How do we know? Like it says, that Hashem created the man in his image. Hu lifisha de kiyuma de almin ilain v'satain hu ayedei hakarbanos. That's because the fulfillment, the sustaining of the higher and lower worlds is through karbanos. So you see, according to the Medrash, when it brings the karbanos, and it says that we are cleaving to the karbanos, through the karbanos, that's because through us bringing karbanos, we sustain the world. Therefore, that also in the service of man, who's bringing a karban, who's bringing a sacrifice, it needs to be in two ways. That in the concept of sacrifices themselves, that's through a service of man who's on the level of vessels. So what does it mean that we're bringing the vessels that are within the sacrifices? So it says in the brackets that these sacrifices is sustaining the world. That's through the sacrifices, including all the different types of creations of the world. That there's the doimem, the inanimate, someach is the vegetative, chai is the animal, and the medaber is the speaker, the humans. That the karbanos themselves are brought from doimem, someach, chai. The doimem is from the salt, the someach is from the wheat, the chai is from the animal that you bring, v'ha'adam ha'makriv, and then the person who actually brings the sacrifice, that's the medaber. So that's the first thing, is that they bring the kelim, that a person needs to bring them in a way of kelim. The potential, the power for karbanos to sustain the world is through bringing them by the person who is removed from the world. That's through the avodah, the service of a man, on the level of Oreis Shaboy. So to summarize Gimel, we are called Adam because we bring lights and we are able to sustain the world through the karbanos. So therefore a person is able to do two things of his sustainment. One is that he brings them in a level of kelim, that through the different levels of creation within the karbanos, that the person is bringing the kelim of the karbanos, and two is that the person who is bringing the karban, he's bringing down the level of the lights of the karbanos. So now we can answer, why does the wording of Vayikra Adam ki yakriv is beginning of Sefer Karbanos, ki ha-karbanos atzmam hem min ha-behema v'gomer, because the karbanos, the sacrifices, is from an animal and so on. Shebazeh nichleles gam ha-behema shebe-adam, that this includes the animal part of the person, the nefesh bahamis, the animal soul. V'zeh naise al yedei b'chinas ban, the nefesh elokis, that this makes through the level of the ban of the godly soul, ban begematria behema, that the level of the name ban is the same gematria of the word behema, the bichlalos hu haneshama k'moshehi b'dargas hakelim, that in general that's the neshama the way it is on the level of kelim. Except that the power that we're able to do this is through the level of ma of the godly soul. Ma begematria adam, the bichlalos hu dargas uris de haneshama, lechen hapesicha besefer karbanos hu adam ki yakriv. That in general that's the level of the lights of the neshama. Therefore, it opens up with sefer hakarbanos adam ki yakriv. So to summarize this part of the paragraph, that it says that the whole concept of bringing sefer karbanos and opening it up with the command of adam ki yakriv, that when we are supposed to bring a karban, we bring it from a behema. This doesn't just mean a behema in the simple sense, but also the behema of a person, the nefesh bahamis. And if you look at the gematria, the numerical equivalent of the word behema, it equals the name ban, which is of the godly soul. And also you have the level of oros, which is through ma, the name ma, which is the same gematria of adam. That therefore the person who's bringing a karban, he's connecting both the kelim and he's also connecting the oros, the vessels and the lights. Seif daled. Vehine yadua de Torah u'mitzvos hem dugmas oros v'kelim. It's known that Torah and mitzvos are likened to lights and vessels. V'apiza Shlema d'shtei dargos anal dehadveikus d'Yisrael b'HaKadosh Baruch Hu. According to this, you could say that the two levels above of cleaving to Hashem, they cleave to Him like a vessel, or you cleave to Him through lights. This happens through the fulfillment of Torah, learning Torah, or fulfilling mitzvahs. That through fulfilling mitzvahs, we get cleaved through vessels, and through learning Torah, we get cleaved through lights. Shegimel hatafilos shachris mincha ve'arvis hem keneged aryeh shor v'nesher. According to this, we connect with what it mentions in Tikunei Zohar, that the three prayers of shachris, mincha, and arvis are corresponding to the three levels that are in the Merkava of an aryeh, a shor, and a nesher. The aryeh is the lion, the shor is the ram, and the nesher is the eagle. V'inyan adam ki yakriv da areisa, and the concept of the fourth level of the Merkava is Adam. When it says Adam ki yakriv, that's referring to Torah. Ubegin da tikunei besloisa the mashma ba sefer Torah, and with this they fixed davening. The sages fixed davening that it's mashma in a sefer Torah. Le'me'evei ba karbana shlim ba'adam v'chulu zois haTorah adam. That then through this concept of prayer, we become a karbana shlim, we become a complete sacrifice in the person, like the verse says, zois haTorah adam, that this is the Torah of man. V'yishleimar habir bezeh de bezeh shetfilos hem keneged karbanos hu keneged hakarbanos atzmam. The inyan hatfilo hu bir nefesh abhamis al derech hakreves habehema. That you could say an explanation for this, that the prayers are corresponding to sacrifices. That's the corresponding of sacrifices themselves. The concept of prayer is refining the animal soul, that you're bringing close the animal and you're refining the animal. The inyan adam ki yakriv da oraisa hu hakoyach de Yisrael lehakriv karbonos lehiyoisam bebechinas adam dveikus to urish naisis ayde esa ketura. The concept of a man who brings a sacrifice, this referring to the Torah, is the power of the Jews to bring sacrifices, that they become on the level, because they're on the level of Adam, that's a sacrifice, that's a cleaving of the lights that happens through the learning of Torah. ועל פי זה יש לברר זוהי שהשחלת הדיבור מעול מועד הייתה פרשת קורבנוס, כי הגילוי דתורה הוא בעיקר בדיני קורבנוס כנ"ל סעיף א', כי זה שעל ידי הקורבנוס נעשים בירו דעולם, וכן זה שעל ידם הוא כי מהעולם הוא בכוח התורה, אדם כי יקריב דה אורייסה. Now we could explain, according to this, that the beginning of the speech from the tent of meeting was the Parsha of Karbanos, because the revelation of the Torah is mainly by the laws of the sacrifices. Because this, that through the sacrifices there becomes a refinement of the world, and also this, that through them you sustain the world, that's the power that comes from the power of Torah. Now we can explain what it says in Tuknei Zohar, that Adam ki yakriv, this is referring to Torah. V'yesh lakasha zeh im yom hasheni b'Nisan, Boy hikriv Nisan al ben Suar nasi Yisachar. Tezeh shezachar zacha lehakriv sheni l'shvatim hu lefi sheba Yisachar hayu yoidim b'Torah ufli shehem nitnu eitzel lenasiim lihisnadev karbonos halalu. So we can connect this with what it says on the second day of Nisan, that we read all the Nesiim throughout the first 12 days of Nisan. And it says that the second day is Nisan ben Suar, who comes from the tribe of Yisachar. That they were zoiche, they merited to bring on the second day, is because the Bnei Yisachar, the tribe of Yisachar, knew Torah, and because they gave Eitzah, they gave suggestions to the Nasim of how to donate the karbonos. The Shlema sheni ha'inyanim tluim zabazeh, that these two concepts are connected one to the other. The lefisha hayodim Torah, v'gilui haTorah hu be'inyan karbonos, lachen nitnu eitzel lehisnadev karbonos. That you could say that these two things were connected one to the other. That the Bnei Yisachar, that they knew Torah, and that the revelation of the Torah is mainly through the karbonos, therefore they were able to give advice on how to donate the karbonos. So to summarize Daled, we see that Torah represents oros, and mitzvahs represent kelim. That davening, we see that the way that they established the davening, Shacharis, Mincha, and Arvis, was corresponding to the Torah. That's why it says in Tuknei Zohar that when it says Adam ki yakriv, this is referring to Torah. And we connected to what it says in Beis Nisan, that on Beis Nisan, the Nasi that we read is Yisachar, and Yisachar knew Torah, and the fact that they knew Torah was why they were able to give advice. Seif Hey. Sorch lahavin harei Torah hi l'mayla mi'ha'olam. Ukemevur betanya dezeh sheDavid ne'nash al shekara divrei Torah b'shem zmirois hu lefi sheDavid haya meshabeach es haTorah bezeh shekol ha'olamos tluim b'diktuk echad miduktukei haTorah. So we need to understand, Torah is higher than the world. How do we know? Like it's explained in Tanya, that Dovid the Melech was punished for calling the Torah by the name of songs. Why did he call them songs? Because Dovid gave a praise to the Torah in this, that all the worlds are dependent on one diktuk, one specific specific thing about the Torah, from one diktuk, on all the diktukei Torah, from all the specifics of the Torah. The whole world is dependent on that one diktuk. And he was ne'nash al zeh, he was punished for this. Ki legabe haTorah liyos miyuchedes ba'orin tzoif baruch hu kol ha'olam lo'eshem lo yimamish chashiveh ve'ein shayach shagilu d'Torah hu be'inyan ha'karbanos shehem bira v'kiyum ha'olam. He was punished because, in regards to Torah, since it's united with the Or Ein Sof, with the infinite light, with Hashem, all the worlds are as if nothing before Hashem. And it doesn't make sense. It's not shaykh that there be a revelation of Torah in the concept of karbanos, that they are a refinement and sustaining the world. Yesh lamar, whenever it says yesh lamar, this is the Rebbe's chidush, habir bezeh. We can explain why Dovid was punished for this, and the Rebbe learns a lesson out from this. The Torah, the way it is higher than worlds, that's the way the Torah is by itself. But the way Torah is sourced, rooted in Atzmus, in the essence of Hashem, Kivin she'atzmus yisbarach in a big mugdar chas v'shalom b'shum geder, since the essence of Hashem is not limited by any limitation whatsoever, gam loy bezeh shekol ha'olam eishem lo chashiv l'gabeha, also not in regards to worlds that are as if nothing before him, hina ayadeh shenisavya liyois lo yisdir b'tachtainim, shi'e loy nachas ruach v'tainug me'avodas ha'tachtainim, naise al derech zeh gam b'tira, that through HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanting to make a dwelling down here below, that he has a pleasure and a nachas from the avoda of what happens down here, by us doing service down here below, there becomes in the same way also in the Torah, that the concept of the world takes up space, if you could say, in regards to the Torah. And according to this, we could explain why Dovid praised the Torah in the fulfillment of the world is dependent on one specific of all the specifics of the Torah. That even though the Torah is higher than all the worlds, Kimitzad hashorish the Torah k'moshe hi mishreshes ba'atzmus shnesavi lihiyos lo yidir b'tachtainim v'shehadir b'tachtainim tiyei ayidi ha'torah, because since the source of the Torah, the way it is rooted in the essence of Hashem, that the essence of Hashem wants to make a dwelling down here in this world, and that this dwelling down here below come through the Torah, that all the life force of the worlds is dependent on one specific of all the specifics of the Torah, that became a praise for the Torah, if you could say. That the reason he got punished for this is because the praise is shaykh to gilui. However, in regards to the revelations of the Torah, all the worlds are as if nothing before the Torah. So the Rebbe explains in Sif Hey, to summarize Sif Hey, we say that how could the Torah be limited to karbanos if the karbanos are only refining and sustaining the world? We know that the world was prefaced by the Torah. The Torah came before the world. So how could you compare those two? But the Rebbe brings a yesh lemar. He brings a nuance in the fact that Dovid was punished for this. And he explains that you could look at Torah in one of two ways. You could look at Torah the way it is down here in the world, or you can look at Torah the way it is connected to Atzmus of Hashem. If you look at it the way it's connected to Atzmus of Hashem, and Atzmus of Hashem is not limited by worlds, therefore the Atzmus is wanting to make a dir b'tachtainim. It's emphasizing that one learning of Torah down here in this world through the avodah of a person, down in the avodas hatachtainim, specifically in the avodah down here below, it's showing the praise of how great the Torah is. Seif Vav. According to this, we could explain what it says in Tanya. That after HaKadosh Baruch Hu contracted himself, his desire and his wisdom, and he descended down here below, that's why it likens Torah to water. Because this, that the water descends down from a very high place to a very lowly place, so too Torah comes from a very high and important place, which is the wisdom and the desire of Hashem that has that no thought can grasp it whatsoever. And from that high place, Umisham nasa v'yarda ad shenislabsha b'dvarim gashmim v'inyani olam hazeh. And from there, just like water descends down below, so too the Torah traveled and descended until it got enclosed into physical things and into things of this world. Seemingly, we need to explain. This that the Torah descended down below, from above to below, could be understood without giving an example of water. What do we add in the understanding of the descent of the Torah from above to below by giving an example of mayim? You could say an explanation for this, an intention for this, that just like water, this that it descended from a very high place down to a lowly place, that's because that even when it's in a high place, it doesn't have connection to that high place that it's found over there. And on the contrary, this that the nature of water is that they draw down to a lowly place specifically implies their connection to that lowly place, that even when that water is in a high place, it's still naturally connected to that lowly place. So too is with Torah that is likened to water. That this that it descended from above to below, it was not its place to be above, and its descent down below is that it is now found in its place. Ki'im shemekoima ha'amiti gam biyoisam lamayla hu lamata. You don't say that it was above and it was only meant to come down below. Rather, its true place, even when it is above, is really that it's meant to come down below. Yesh lo hisif, zeu ma she'omer b'Tanya sham b'soif ha'perek. You could add that this is what it says in Tanya at the end of the chapter. That this that it says that he hugs me with his right hand, referring to Torah, which is the level of chesed and mayim, kindness and water. Shemidayik chesed umayim af shebichdei levair hatam al zeh shatorah nikra yiminoi Hashem de lechaira loyma shehi bechinas chesed. It emphasizes that Torah is likened to chesed and mayim, kindness and water, that even though in order to explain the reasoning for this that the Torah is called the right hand of Hashem, it would have been enough to say that it's just chesed, and it emphasizes mayim also, water also, ki ha'hamshach milamayla lamata shebechesed hi be'oifen shahamayla toisef makoim, because the way that it comes down from above to below, and a person gives chesed, it does kindness, that's in a way that that which is above takes up space to the one that it's giving. When a person wants to give to another, they take up space by that other person. Like you have the effect of a kind person. That this that he wants to give over to another person, he wants to give something to another person, give to that which is down below, you feel the chesed, you feel the kindness of the giver. Not so with the effect of going from above to below of water. That's in a way that they push aside, they put aside the highly place that they are, and they descend specifically down to a lowly place. That this is why it adds that the Torah is on the level of chesed and mayim, kindness and water. That the Torah descends from above to below is the level of descending of the waters, that it puts aside its high place. That the main place of the Torah is specifically down here below. And it explains in other places that the Torah is in every place, that it's above and below. That's the way Torah is on the level of being revealed. However, the Torah, the way it is rooted in the essence of Hashem, that level of the Torah is given specifically down here below. So to summarize, we explained that Torah is likened to water, because just like water naturally descends down below, and the place of water is to be here down below, and it always descends down to the lowest place, so too Torah, its natural place is down here below. And the Rebbe emphasizes in the second paragraph of Vav that just like you have the Torah is explained by the wording of chesed and mayim, just like chesed, when a person does chesed, you feel the chesed that he's doing down here below. However, mayim, not only do you not feel it, but it puts aside being up in a highly place and continuously and always wants to come down here below. So too, Torah you have on different levels. The Torah you have that could be on the level of revelation, but that's not the ultimate. The way the Torah is ultimately is the way that is connected to the essence of Hashem. And the way the Torah down here below, that is the way that is most connected to Hashem. Seif Zayin. וזהו זוהי התורה אדם, שהתורה נמשלה לאדם כי באדם שני עניינים. Now we can tie back what we said, Adam ki yakriv, before. There's another pasuk that says, Zois HaTorah Adam, this is the Torah of man. That the Torah is likened to man, because man has two levels. Zeh shenikra Adam al shem Adam ala elyon, v'zeh shenikra Adam al shem shenoitzer min ha'adama, ki de'isa v'medrash, she'amar Adam arishon, ani na'ela hakri lehakra Adam shenivresi min ha'adama. So you have two levels of man. One, he's called man because he's Adam ala elyon, that he's likened to above. And second, that he's called man because the name was formed from there. He was formed from ha'adama, from the earth. Like it says in the Medrash, that Adam Rishon said, it's nice for me to be called Adam, that I was created from ha'adama. Umevur beChassidus, how does it explain in Chassidus? V'zeh shekara Adam Rishon shemoy al shem ha'chomer guf v'loy al shem ha'tzura nefesh ki Adam Rishon bechachmaso heisig v'zeh shegufa noitzer min ha'adama. That explains Chassidus that Adam Rishon is called by the name of his chomer, of his form, which was his body, and not on the name of his tzura, of his being, of his soul, because Adam Rishon in his wisdom understood that this itself, he was formed from the earth, doimem, which is inanimate, and not like the rest of the creations that they came from vegetation. Therefore, Adam Arishon felt that he has a benefit over Lagabe Malas Nishmaso, of his soul, because anything that comes from the highest place fell down into the lowliest place. So what was the lowliest place? Was Adama. And Adam felt that he came from Adama. So now we could explain what it means, Zois HaTorah Adam. This is the Torah of man. That just like Torah, you have these two concepts. You have on one hand the Torah the way it is, higher than the world. So much so that all the worlds are as if nothing before it, the Torah. This is corresponding to the way man is called Adam Elyon, he's likened to above. That's the first level. And second is that the Torah descended down below specifically is because its source, its root is in Atzmus. Hu aderech shem Adam al shem shenoitzer min ha'adama mitzad zeh sheshorshahu behagavoa gavoa yoiser. That's the part of man, the way it is formed from the earth, because that his source is in the highest of levels. So to summarize Zayin, we say Adam can be explained from two ways. Either Adama le'elyon, he's likened to above, or min ha'adama, he was noitzer min ha'adama, he was formed from the earth. And we say that there's two greatnesses. The same two greatnesses that you see from man, you can apply to Torah. The Torah, the way it is above the world, that's the way it is like man, Adama le'elyon. And the second, the Torah, the way it is revealed mostly, and it's connected to its source in Atzmus, specifically the way it is down here below. Se'if ches. V'hinei shnei ha'inyanim bebechinas ha'mayim de'Torah שהתורה יורדת למטה ושעל ידי הירידה למטה דווקא מסגל שורש התורה כמו שמושרש בעצמוס הוא בעיקר בהלכות התורה. These two concepts on the level of water of the Torah, that the Torah descended down below just like water, and that through the descent down below specifically it reveals the source of the Torah the way it is, rooted in the essence of Hashem. That's mainly seen by the laws of the Torah. Dinyan ha'alacha yishu psak din b'nageh l'maisa yarda lamata b'yeser. That the laws of the Torah is a psak din, a verdict in regards to action, that it descended down into the lowliest. V'shorish ha'alacha yishu la'lamayla yoiser mehashorish v'shar chalkei ha'Torah. That the source of halachos is much higher than the source of other parts of the Torah. Ukemevur b'hemshech samach vav. Dezeh she'elu ve'elu divrei Elokim chayim hu b'chenes Elokim davka. That it's explained in the Maamer of the Rebbe Rashab samach vav, that it says that these and these are the words of the living God. That's on the level, it uses the word Elokim, the word of Elokim. V'halachos hem mishem havaya k'maim razal v'havaya imoy she'halacha k'moy soy. And if you compare the different parts of the Torah to halachos comes from the name Havaya, Yud-Kei Vav-Kei. Like the sages say, the Havaya imoy, that Havaya was with him, that the halacha is just like Havaya. The hakavana deshem Havaya kan hi al lebechina ad lebechinas shmoy hakalu be'atzmusoy yecholes ha'atzmus. That the intention of saying the name Havaya over here is that it's the level of the name that is included in the essence of Hashem, the possibility, the potential for ha'atzmos. V'yesh lo hoisif. Dezeh shev'chines hamayim de'Torah hu be'ikr b'halachos ha'Torah hu gam b'nageh lezeh she'amar razal shedivrei Torah nimshelu l'mayim ki k'moy shemayim manichim makom gavoya v'holchim makom namoch kach divrei Torah ein miskaymin ele b'mi shedaito shvela. So the Rebbe says you can add that this at the level of the water of Torah is mainly in the halachos, the laws of the Torah. That's in regards to what the sages say, that the words of the Torah are likened to water, that just like water puts aside a high place and it descends to a lowly place, so too the words of Torah are only sustaining in that type of person who is on his das is shvela, his mind is in a lowly place, meaning he's not arrogant of himself, he's only in a lowly place. Ukimavor behemshech samavav. Shebechdei lechavin halacha la'amitasa hu ayedei habito v'hashvelus. As is explained from the Rebbe Rashab in Samach Vav, that in order to explain halacha in its trueness, you have to be on a level of bittul, self-sacrifice, putting yourself aside, and shvelus, and lowly. Dezeo shenikava halacha kebeis hillel mipnei shenoisnim shenuchnin v'olvin hayu ki ayedei habito shelahem higiu lahelam ha'atzmi. That the halacha was fixed according to Beis Hillel. Usually we go according to Beis Hillel. That's because they put themselves aside, that they were lowly spirited, because through their bittul they reached the level of helam ha'atzmi, the essential hiddenness of Hashem. ועל פי זה יש להוסיף ביר בזה שנסבר לעיל סף ד' זה שבני יששכר ניתנו עץ להסנדב בקרבנוס ולפי שהיו יודעים בתורה וגילוי לתורה הוא בעניין הקרבנוס. Now we can tie it back, we can add an explanation of what we mentioned in Sif Daled, that the children of Yisachar, the tribe of Yisachar, they gave advice on how to sacrifice the karbanos because they knew Torah, and that the revelation of Torah was in the laws of the karbanos, of these sacrifices. That the tribe of Yisachar brought on the second day, and that they were prefaced before them by the tribe of Yehuda, that's because of the bittul of the tribe of Yehuda. Beis hiktimu divrei Beis Hillel hiktimu divrei Beis Shammai lidivreihem. That's according to Beis Hillel prefaced their words to Beis Shammai in their wording. V'lachen zachu lechaven halacha lamitasa. Therefore, Beis Hillel is usually the one that was zoichet to have the halacha said accordingly. Kimevur b'drush ad Maharash. This is explained according to the Rebbe Maharash. That you could say that their knowledge of Torah, the tribe of Yisachar, that they knew Torah, brought them to the concept of karbanos, bir v'kim ha'olam, that through the karbanos they refined and they sustained the world. Hu ki ayedei esa katorah shalahem hayav bitul. This that their way of learning of Torah was in a way of bitul. Higiu etzem haTorah k'moshe hu mishreshes ba'atzmus v'lachen hayan yirgash eslam b'shatachlis the yedias haTorah hi lahashlim kavanas ha'atzmus. That by them learning Torah in a way of bittul, they reach the essence of the Torah the way it is rooted in the essence of Hashem. Therefore, it was felt by them that the ultimate knowledge of the Torah is that they should complete the intention of the essence of Hashem to make a dwelling place for Hashem down below. So to summarize Seif Ches, the way that we connect the Torah is mainly by halacha. That halacha from Hashem was all the way down below, and the way that we learn it is that we learn it in physical things, and when it comes all the way down below, it's connected to atzmos. And we say the ultimate way to learn Torah is when you learn it with a bittul. That's why Yisachar was prefaced by the Shevet of Yehuda, because Yehuda, Hoda'ah, represents bittul. Therefore, when they learned Torah, and they learned it in a way of bittul, they reached the level of the essence of the Torah. If Tes. V'zehu Vayikra el Moshe v'yidaber Hashem v'gomer Adam v'gomer ki yakri v'gomer. That now we can go back to the beginning of the Maamer that it says that Moshe was called. He called to Moshe, and Hashem spoke to him, and so on. When a person brings a sacrifice and so on, that all speeches were prefaced by a calling out of preciousness, that's also a preface of greatness. That the concept of a kriya, of calling out, is higher than speech. So much so that when it says Vayikra el Moshe, it says Vayikra stam, and it doesn't say who was the one that called out. It just says he called out to Moshe. Who is the he? Because the calling out comes from the essence of Hashem that's higher even than the name Yud Kei Vav Kei. Nevertheless, from this that the calling out was before the speech, even though you're going to say that the calling out was in a way of preciousness, that's a concept on its own. And it wasn't like a preface for the speech. It's proven, therefore, that the calling out is connected to the speech. ויש לומר שהדיברויס והאמירויס והציוויים דתורה הם מהוויה. Therefore you could say that the speeches and the sayings and any commands of the Torah comes from the name Yud Kevavke. כמו שכתוב בכל הדיברויס וכולו דתורה וגם הדיבר פסוק זה וידבר Hashem. That as we know that all the speeches of the Torah, including this speech, says וידבר Hashem, and Hashem spoke. והקריאה היא מהעצמוס כנ"ל, and therefore the kriya, the calling out, is from the essence of Hashem. ועניין ויקרא וידבר הוא המשחס וגילוי העצמוס של למעלה מהתורה והדיבר דתורה. Therefore, when it says Vayikra el Moshe, וידבר Hashem elav, when you have both Vayikra and you have Yedaber, it's drawing down a revelation of the essence of Hashem that's higher than the Torah into the speech of the Torah. ובכללוס הוא המשחס התורה כמו שהיא משרשת בעצמוס. And in general, that's a drawing down of the Torah the way it is, rooted in the essence of Hashem. We can connect this also with what it says that Vayikra has a small aleph. Like the Torah that was said of the Alter Rebbe, when he said to the Tzemach Tzedek when he was 3 years old, Sha'alev Ze'ira de Vayikra Moira al Ha'anava ve'habito de Moshe, that the small aleph of the word Vayikra implies on the humility and the self-sacrifice of Moshe. Da'agam sheyada mailos atzmoi, that even though he had a maila of himself, he knew his greatness. Mikomakom lo hechshivis atzmoi, v'adraba yidia zu hevia oisel yos shafal b'yinyane atzmoi od yoser k'mavur sham be'arucha. That even though he knew his greatness, nevertheless he thought of himself. He didn't think greatly of himself. On the contrary, this knowledge of his maila, of his greatness, that is what made him shafa, lowly, in the concepts of himself even more, as is explained at length over there. V'yesh lomar shemiha-taimim al zeh, sha'alef ze'ira haramezes al habitul de Moshe, hi bebechinas Vayikra, hu ki ayedei habitul, shaloi naisa keli lehagilui de Vayikra. That you could say that for the reasons for this, that the aleph, the small aleph, hints at the bitul of Moshe on the level of Vayikra. That is because through the bittul, through the self-nullification, there became a keli for the revelation of the Vayikra, which is the drawing down and the revelation of the Torah the way it is, sourced in Atmos. In the same way that we mentioned about Yisachar. According to this, we could explain what it says Vayikra in the wording of Karbanos, that even though all the speeches were prefaced by a kriya, by a calling out, because this concept of the Torah, which is rooted in the essence of Hashem, is revealed mainly by the Torah in the learning of the laws of the sacrifices, in order to refine the world and to make it a dwelling place for Hashem. So it's known that each and every Jew has the level of Moshe, including the self-nullification of Moshe. From this it's understood that the concept of calling out to Moshe is also for each and every Jew. And specifically when a Jew learns this pasuk. That through this is also drawn down a nesinas koyach, a potential, a power, over for the avodah of karbanos, the service of sacrifices in a spiritual sense. And this also becomes a proper preface for the service of karbanos in the simple sense, in the physical sense. That over there we're going to make for you like the mitzvah of your will. בבייס המקדש השלישי שיבנה במהרה ויאמינו ובקרוב ממש. That all of this is going to happen with the Beis HaMikdash HaShlishi, may it happen b'imhera v'yameinu, speedily in our days, b'karov mamish, and speedily, immediately mamish.